Hi everyone, my name is Alexandria Olton and I am a sports and exercise psychologist and the director of Mindology, which is a sport and exercise psychology practice. And I live in Trinidad and Tobago.
Awesome. Thanks for meeting with me today, Alex. I really appreciate it. I really wanted to just talk to you about mental toughness. It's something that I find really interesting and something that's that athletes really strive for, especially during these really tough times. Is there anything in particular that you like to talk to your athletes about to help them develop mental toughness? Any top tips that you have?
Mental toughness ultimately is the ability of an athlete to overcome adversity or bounce back from failures and challenges, right? So we can also consider it resilience or we consider it grit. So mental toughness really for me as a practitioner with my athletes is a big umbrella for a lot of different traits that an athlete needs to draw upon to be able to be resilient. Because resilience requires you to have a level of confidence and competence, discipline, focus, attention, commitment, and it needs you to be motivated in times of difficulty. So that, and one of the main or key players as well is emotional intelligence, the ability to experience emotions of disappointment, but then be able to overcome them or manage them. So I think one of the most important things for me with respect to developing mental toughness is developing an athlete's emotional intelligence, their ability to recognize their emotions and understand how it affects them and understand how they adapt to it. So.
Yeah, that totally makes a lot of sense. It's always something that we really strive for, is to be able to bounce back from something as difficult, especially during these times in a pandemic where all of this is adversity for all of the athletes right now. And it makes sense that, we want to build what's within us. And is there anything that you've been doing specifically with your athletes to help them focus during the pandemic in order to kind of build their mental toughness?
Absolutely. During this COVID-19 pandemic, athletes who are accustomed to having very rigid lifestyles, very scheduled lifestyles, whose lives revolve around training, particularly the athletes that I work with who are elite level athletes. So you're talking about athletes who are preparing for Olympics, athletes who may have had this Olympics as their last, now they've come to have to make the decision, do I continue on and they postpone the date of Olympics, or do I just simply retire now? There are a lot of things, a lot of disappointment and adversity, and require a lot of mental toughness to endure this. For those athletes who have decided to continue on in their athletic career, one of the main things that we focused on was creating a routine within this abnormal lifestyle we've now grown accustomed to. Creating a new normal for ourselves. So not fixating on what we can no longer do, but instead trying to focus our attentions on what we can still do. And we have a little catchy saying, my athletes and I, we talk about controlling the controllables, which simply means focus your attentions and energies on the things that are within your ability to control. You can't control the pandemic or the fact that things are locked down and the gyms are closed, but you can control that. Maybe you have half an hour to do an exercise during the day, create a little exercise routine. You may not have the perfect set of weights at home, but you might have big, gallons of water bottles that you can use, fill a backpack with some books. So try to be creative. So we stimulated those creative juices a little bit. So creating that routine and creating goals around that routine really help the athletes maintain focus. But I mean, like anyone else, they would have been experiencing sort of emotional irregularities, very up and down for them. But certainly, we were able to overcome them and continue to progress. So it was good.
Awesome. I really appreciate you meeting with me and kind of giving some helpful tips for all those athletes that want to still prepare for the Olympics, or even, you know, whatever comes with any kind of training and competitions and whatever starts opening up now that things are starting to open up again. So I appreciate all of your tips.
No problem at all. Thanks again, Megan.
No problem.